Well, Ann7 sports editor Edwin Kgaswe joins us live in the newsroom. Edwin, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Now, firstly, is the government justified in refusing to budge on the budget for the hosting of the Commonwealth Games come the 2022 year?
Yes, you could say they're quite right in doing that, because hosting sporting events, you've got a set budget, you estimate, and then these things tend to overrun. We saw with the 2010 World Cup in South Africa that a lot of money was spent on building infrastructure, on building the stadiums, on building the roads, and also getting the how train ready to operate, to transport fans from the airport into Sandton City and Johannesburg at large. So any sporting event that is planned, you have to account for inflation as well, because South Africa was due to host in 2022. So who knows what kind of cost overruns Durban would have had to fit. So I think on that point, the government was justified in saying, here we've got a budget, we think we can make it work, and we're not budging from it.
Now, in your view, Edwin, do you think that this stance could have been detrimental towards the future events that South Africa would have loved to host?
I don't think so, because South Africa has proven over the years that we can host sporting events of big magnitude. We started with Rugby World Cup in 1995. That was followed by the Africa Cup of Nations a year later. And of course, we hosted the 2003 Cricket World Cup. And as we speak right now, World Rugby is actually in South Africa to come and get the ground, to get the South Africa's bid for the 2023 Rugby World Cup started. So this decision with the Commonwealth Games, I don't think will affect what South Africa can achieve in future. And even the Commonwealth Games Federation have come out and said that South Africa will not be barred from bidding for future editions of the Commonwealth Games. So I think maybe South Africa in this instance are trailblazers, in that countries just get locked into all these contracts, and they have to abide by the open-ended terms that the minister was talking about. So there's no way to wriggle out of cost overruns. And if South Africa is successful with all the other sporting events that they want to bid for, and they stand their ground and say, we kept this budget at this amount, perhaps it will help other countries around the world. I mean, as we speak now, in Rio de Janeiro, the infrastructure for the Olympic Games has fallen into disrepair. There are swimming pools that have had to be closed. All the other facilities are run down just less than a year from the Olympic Games. So it is quite clear that countries do fall into that kind of financial difficulties. They are not able to recoup or reuse the facilities because they're specialist facilities. And that is why Durban was going to use existing infrastructure for the Commonwealth Games. And that's why the government wanted to cap the budget at 4.5 billion rand.
And now, Edwin, given all the money that has been spent during the bidding process and the bidding costs, do you believe that the government did not think through the implications for hosting the Commonwealth Games properly and thoroughly?
Well, critics would say that, but when you bid for an event, you're going to have to spend money, and that money would have gone to travel, would have gone to preparing the bid book, would have gone to making sure that you present a successful bid, even if there was, because South Africa was in a running with a Canadian city called Edmonton, but they pulled out. That was still not a guarantee that the games would come to South Africa. At that point, Durban was the only city up for the running. So you would have thought that they would say, okay, fine, the other city has pulled out, you get the games. It doesn't work like that. So, whenever any country or any city bids for sporting events, they'd have to spend a little bit of money on that. It's inevitable.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Edwin, and for speaking to us this afternoon. Well, that was Ann7 sports editor Edwin Kgaswe joining us live from the newsroom with more on the lost opportunity by South Africa to actually host the Commonwealth Games come 2022.